What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Build or Rebuild, where we take a series of NBA and NHL teams that need to retool or rebuild, and we give our takes of what they should do in the offseason. So today, move to the NHL, and we've got the San Jose Sharks.
The question with these guys is, first off, why can't they sign good contracts? You look at their core; they're all old and they're all very much overpaid.
Yep.
Let's go on to cap friendly real quick. Logan Couture is getting paid $8 million until he's in his late 30s.
Yeah.
Carlson, or the same for Brent Burns. Erik Karlsson's getting 11.5,
Yep.
which at the time was a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Term was always ridiculous, but now with his injuries essentially diminishing his value, that's a terrible contract. Marc-Edouard Vlasic at 7's not great. No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And Martin Jones at almost 6. Another bad contract. All these guys are signed.
Did you mention Evander Kane?
Evander Kane, that's the one I look at that I believe is tradable.
Yeah.
That's the one contract, and since you mentioned him, I would say if they were to trade anybody to get the value of $7 million, maybe you get like a second or third, not much back for him.
Yeah.
But you clear up some value, and I think with that you clear up some cap.
Yeah.
And I think with that you bring in a fast, skilled forward, top six forward.
Yeah.
If they don't rebuild, which it's tough. The other trade pieces they can get rid of if they rebuild are Timo Meier, Thomas Hertl, and Kevin LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Or LeBanc. I don't know how they pronounce his name. It's LeBanc,
Yeah.
sorry. Those are some guys you can get rid of to rebuild.
Yeah.
Because without them, without that depth, this team can continue to tank. Like, they're injury prone and they're not that strong of a team, although they're paying their guys like they are.
Yeah.
So I think that's something they can look to do. I would rebuild this team. Of course, your core players aren't going to be happy about it, but you can't do anything about it because their contracts are, again, very much untradeable.
Yeah.
They have no cap space. They have no prospects.
No.
And they're a bottom feeder.
Right.
So what do you do besides rebuild? You can't bring anybody in.
Yeah, because this team on paper should not be as bad as they are, but they are. So
They lost a lot when they brought in Karlsson.
yeah.
When they brought in Karlsson, they didn't lose much because they were still a playoff team and a perennial playoff team.
Yeah.
The issue was re-signing him. They lost Pavelski. They lost Donskoy.
Yeah.
And it was too much for their forward depth to handle. They don't have anybody that can carry that forward core.
No.
And they're too offensively minded on the back end.
Yeah.
So it was waiting to happen. And of course, nobody expected them to be this bad.
Yeah.
But the writing was on the wall from the start. When they brought in Karlsson, of all teams, we knew San Jose was in the running, but with Brent Burns, it made no sense at the time of the trade.
No.
And to this day, it still makes no sense to have them both on the same team.
No, it doesn't.
When they brought them in, head coach at the time, Pete DeBoer, said when they do 3-on-3, if they have Burns, Karlsson, and Pavelski on a line, Pavelski's the one playing defense.
Yeah. You can't have two guys playing on the same pairing.
Well, they're never going to be on the same pairing. They're both right-handed. They're both offensive.
They have been in certain situations.
Only on the power play, really, or when they need a goal.
Yeah.
When they need defense, those two are probably not even going to be on the ice.
No.
So.
Yeah, it's really tough to justify paying 11.5 for the next 50 years for a guy that only plays one side of the puck and he's injured half the time.
And he can't skate backwards.
So I don't know. I think another glaring uh-oh on this is the fact that Martin Jones is still at 5.75.
Yes.
And Martin Jones is arguably the worst goalie in hockey.
The worst starting
goalie, yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah. This team, they got to blow it up. They got to trade what they can. I wouldn't, until you have pieces, I wouldn't buy out anybody because you have nobody to resign.
No.
There's nobody of value there. they won't be able to re-sign.
No.
So trade out what you can, rebuild. It's probably going to take half a decade, if not longer.
Yeah, it's not a short.
It's going to be a long rebuild because they've strangled themselves with all these terrible contracts.
Yeah.
If you can convince somebody to take on a big contract, maybe you can speed things up, but it's got to be a rebuild. It's got to be a selling rebuild for them.
Yeah. So with that, that'll do it for the San Jose Sharks build or rebuild. If you like the video, give it a like below, subscribe so you don't miss any of our uploads, comment below what you would do with the San Jose Sharks, and we'll see you next episode. Peace.